this is Kelsey from the Goal Getter blog. Thanks for watching this video. So let's talk about the moving target that is business casual. Depending on what company you work for, business casual could mean a variety of different things. I know that there are some companies out there that say that jeans are okay to wear when you're dressing business casual. There are also some companies that say that jeans are not permitted, but you've got slacks or professional pants or something like that. And don't get me started on open-toed shoes. I have heard that too many times to even count. If you want to stop getting those passive-aggressive memos from your HR department, take a look at some of these tips that I've got. Maybe I'll be able to help you nail on the head exactly what business casual means for your company. The first tip I have is find somebody that you admire and see how they dress. Look at what pieces they tend to use more often. Do they tend to be more formal or do they tend to be more casual? It helps to find somebody that you admire who actually works for the same company as you, but even if they're not in the same company but they're in the same industry, sometimes that helps too. Company culture is really important when you're determining what business casual means. For example, I have a friend who wore a certain outfit to a job interview at a company, and the outfit was completely acceptable, or at least I think it was because she moved on to the next round of interviews. But she wore that same outfit to work later at a different company and it was not considered acceptable. So the company that she had interviewed at was a lot more casual. You know, they were fine with wearing jeans and sneakers. So her interview outfit was perfectly acceptable. But this other company, even though that they also described their dress code as business casual, they tended to be a bit more formal. The next tip, dress for the job you want, not the job you've got. I highly recommend looking at your dream job position, watch people in that position and see how they dress. And then you can start building up your wardrobe and dressing that exact same way. That way you are dressing a step or two above what's expected of you, and you've also built up your wardrobe so that when you do get in that position, you don't have to go shopping right away. You've already built up those pieces so you already fit the role. Whenever you're dressing for the job you want and not the job you've got, you will also see that there's two good results from that. The first one is that others will perceive you as more competent. So let me tell you a story. I was once in an office where everybody was really comfortable wearing jeans. They were comfortable wearing sneakers and t-shirts to work. They were business casual, emphasis on the casual. But there was a manager and you could tell whenever she walked in the room because she wore black slacks, she wore high heels and a nice professional blouse. Even though she also had the option to dress super casual, she chose to step it up a little bit and dress in a way that kind of commanded more respect. And as a result, people gave her a lot of respect. So whenever you dress for the job you want and you decide to dress a step or two above, people will see you as more competent and more respectable. Whenever you're dressing for the job you want, not the job you've got, another great thing that will happen is you will feel more competent. When I was in school, I was a firm believer in the phrase dress well, test well. Whenever I knew that I looked nice, I just felt more confident and I felt like I could take on more and do well. Whenever you dress in a way where you feel more worthy and more competent, you're going to feel like you can command more respect from other people. The next tip I have for you for nailing business casual on the head for your company is asking your HR department. See if you can get a copy of your company's dress code policy. These are usually pretty specific, so that way you can see exactly what is allowed, what is not, and what's encouraged. The last tip that I have for nailing business casual on the head is always aiming for a bit more formal. It's always better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's one of the best pieces of advice I ever got in my life. So always aim for a little bit more formal. It's a lot easier to pull off a dress when everybody else is wearing jeans than it is to pull off sweatpants when everyone else is wearing jeans. If you just wear sweatpants and you're dressing a level below, you just look unprepared. So just to be careful, always aim for a little bit more on the formal side. You know, you can just make it look like you planned it that way, that you decided to look a little nicer on purpose. Like I said, business casual is a moving target. So I hope these tips help you whenever you're determining what to wear to work. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe and thumbs up. Also, feel free to share any tips that you've got about dressing business casual at your work or any funny stories about dress code at your work. I'd love to hear them, so write them in the comments down below. Be sure to check out my website. It's www.beagoalgetter.net. Thanks for watching.